Hey, what's up, Old City World? I am here with Mike Waywell. He is the owner of Steel Habitat, and as you'll soon hear, he's British, so don't hold it against him. But anyway, welcome, Mike. Welcome to the Old City crew, and tell us a little bit about Old City. Old City. Tell us a little bit about Steel Habitat.
Yeah, so obviously, me and you've known each other for a little while now. Steel Habitat is my gym in Liverpool, and we do a lot of custom programming, we call it. So we're doing strength training, we're doing fat loss work, we do athletic performance stuff. It's a nice process because everyone gets to train together. You've got the CrossFit style atmosphere, but you're working on a program that's a little bit more specific to your individual goals and your current level of strength and fitness. So rather than perhaps coming in and just having, the CrossFit workout, maybe the RX version or the two levels, it's a little bit more goal specific. So if you do want to do, get strong as your primary goal, then we have programs for that. If you just want to build muscle, we have programs for that. If your goal is to improve athletic performance, there's programs for that. But a big focus, no matter what your goal is strength. Like that's we do a lot of strongman work, a lot of powerlifting style training. That's the core of all of our programs, even the fat loss ones. And being totally honest, it works super well. It's a great system that we've got. It allows, like I said, that atmosphere, like the group training atmosphere. Obviously, the results that are even more specific to you as an individual. So that's worked really well for us here, which is, I guess, why we've kind of linked up on bringing it over to you guys too.
Yeah, for sure. Because kind of like what I was talking about a little earlier with videos I do for the gym. One of the areas that CrossFit doesn't do a great job in is just developing strength for a more experienced lifter. And it's not really the purpose of CrossFit. The purpose of CrossFit is just elevating general physical preparedness. And with that, you're going to get stronger. But to get stronger, you need just consistency. You need dedicated time in the gym and just a dedicated program that's going to get you those results over time. So you mentioned a few different programs. So is it everyone gets their own specific individualized program, or is it sort of one of those things where you just kind of get a program that will get you the goal that you have, if that makes sense?
Yeah, so it's not completely individualized in the sense that if you had personal training where every set and every rep and every single exercise is personalized exactly to you, but it is specific in the sense that rather than everyone coming in and perhaps doing the same session together, you're getting a program, we call it customized, so it's not necessarily 100% personalized, but it's customized to where you're at in terms of what your goal is, and it's customized to where you're at in terms of your level of strength and fitness. So I think the strength version is a really easy example. If you come in and your goal is to get stronger and build muscle, you'll start on our beginner strength program. And then as you progress and hit certain targets, then you'll move up to like our intermediate strength program. And then again, you'll stick on that program for maybe 8, 16, 24 weeks, however long it takes for you to hit the criteria to move up again. And then we've got options to move into a powerlifting program, to athletic performance, to something again a little bit more advanced. So whilst it's not total personalization, as if you were being personal trained, it is really customized to you more than just general like CrossFit sessions usually are. So it takes into account not only your goal, but where you're at strength and fitness wise at the minute.
Yeah, that's really cool. So if somebody's been lifting for 3 or 4 years and is pretty strong, but just looking to, maybe break through their current plateau, they can be on one plan where, someone went to college, maybe did some bicep curls in college, and now is like actually trying to get strong. So, and never really lifted weights or squatted or deadlifted or done anything like that. Both of these people can be in the gym at the same time, but obviously they're not going to follow the same program because they're at different points.
Absolutely, that's it. So you get that nice atmosphere of everyone training together, which is something that's hugely beneficial, especially people who are in CrossFit already know this. Like you coming in, that's a big part of how well you progress is having the atmosphere, having the coaching, having the support, and having all the guidance and all that kind of thing. So it allows that to continue rather than taking you into a one-on-one session.
Yeah.
So everyone will be training together, but on different on different programs. So we do have like, the mum who's trying to lose body weight is on like a beginner fat loss kind of program, and then we have the semi-professional footballer or rugby player who's doing an athlete program. Then we have someone who's building up to being a powerlifter, and they'll be like intermediate strength. That's what they're working on. So everyone's on different programs that are more specific to them than just doing a generic like boot camp class or circuit class or something.
Yeah.
So they're getting that personalization, but in the group atmosphere. So you're absolutely right with that. Like that's how it works for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. So within each specific class, you do like a quick group warm up, and then you just kind of split off and maybe partner up with somebody who's on a similar program to you. And then you just spend that full 60 minutes lifting. Kind of walk me through what a class might look like.
So just like you said, really, we start off with some mobility stuff, everyone working through, same warm-up, group warm-up, play some games, do something interesting just to get everyone ready to train and get everyone to integrate and mingle together. And then we split off straight away. We go over to the whiteboard, whichever program you're following, you'll copy down your session for that particular day. We might partner up with someone who's doing a similar lift. They might not be on the same program, but if you're both squatting first, you might squat together. So we try and get everyone to train together. I think that's an important part. And then we just work through the program. The coaches are there more to guide you through it rather than be the center of attention. Because, like maybe if you go to spin class or do circuit training or boot camp, and it's very like coach focused. And we take the different approach of that's member led. So, you as the person in the session, you're kind of taking ownership over your own progress as well. And the coaches are there to support and guide you rather than hold your hand through the whole process, which I found is a really good way to do things, because it allows people to start to actually, take things on their own shoulders and start like making their own progress rather than just relying on someone to spoon feed them the whole way through.
Yeah. And it forces the athlete to have accountability in the program, which is kind of that aspect of it is what really drew me to the Steel Habitat concept to begin with, is just your ability to really personalize the accountability piece. So kind of walk me through what you do as from the coaching staff for holding someone accountable when they're doing outside the gym stuff, because you have a lot of nutrition, a lot of sleep, and then each month you're meeting with your members and giving them reviewing their performance for the month. So kind of walk me through outside the gym stuff and how that relates to inside the gym stuff.
Yeah, so with all that kind of stuff, obviously nutrition is a big piece to that. So we have some nutrition coaching videos where we guide people through initially just the basics, getting your habits in place and understanding what are good choices, what are bad choices, why like having a flexible approach is okay, and just whatever kind of fits for that individual person. And then once they've got through that and they've done some tasks on getting their habits in place, then we take them through calculating their calories and macros and how to track those using an app like MyFitnessPal. And then one of the main pieces with it really is having a review every month. So once a month, we basically just have a form to fill in. It's kind of like a questionnaire. It takes about 10 or 15 minutes, and each one of the members on the program fills in the form. It's questions about like how they rate their training over the last 30 days, like on a scale of 1 to 10. If it was a 10, like why was it so good? What were the reasons for that? If it was, say, less than a 6, then how could we make it a 9 to 10? So it's a bit of like a self-reflection kind of task, which again, it works really well because it gives the coaches a big insight to what each individual member is doing, but it also gives the member, the person who's going through the program, a chance to sit back and be like, all right, what have I been doing well over the last 30 days? What haven't I done so well? And because that's something that people generally don't do, is just slow down, pause for a second and have a look at, all right, what's been going well? Why has it been going well? And then you can look at it and be like, all right, this month I've redone my body composition tests and I've made good progress. What have I done well over this last 30 days that I've ended up and equaled me making good progress, and vice versa? You might hit a bit of a plateau and you could look back and be like, well, my sleep's been poor, my training attendance hasn't been great, my nutrition hasn't been up to standard. And then it's really easy then to identify where the weak areas are and how you can make changes going forward. So if you've been doing stuff well, to keep going with those things, because that's going to keep helping you get results. And if when you do your review and you do your self-reflection, you look at it and you're like, I haven't been doing these things, and that's why I've plateaued, then you know what your work-ons are for next month. And that's where the coach comes in. So the coach then can read through the review, see what you've done on your self-reflection kind of tasks, and then advise you specifically on how to improve in the weak areas or how to keep up with the good areas kind of thing. So after they've completed the review, our members come in, they get their body composition measurements done with a coach to see how they're progressing month to month. And then we have that conversation, if the progress hasn't been great and they've marked themselves maybe a 5 or a 6 on nutrition, they've identified what the reasons for that were, then the coach will go ahead and give them some work-ons for the next month. This is how you can get your nutrition up to speed, or this is what you need to work on. And just giving some real basic pointers to push people in the right direction. And it works really, really well, because it just gives you that monthly check-in, and that combined with the customization of the programming and the group atmosphere, it's kind of like the best of every world, really. So yeah. It's been a really good process for us.
That's awesome. And I really like how it's very, very goal oriented. You have your lifts, and then every 8 weeks you're retesting to see if you've made progress in your lifts. So you kind of go through these 8-week cycles. Every 8 week you're retesting, and you either got stronger or you didn't. And then you can look back at each of your monthly reviews and you can say like, oh man, well, I'm still having issues with my sleep and my nutrition. I made all my training sessions, but I didn't get stronger. So now I'm literally seeing the results of a poor diet, a poor sleep, because I'm not getting stronger.
It makes it a lot easier to identify that. And like the point you just said, we test like 3-rep max scores on squat, bench, deadlift and pull up every 8 weeks. So again, that's another marker of, well, how well have I been doing things lately? And you wouldn't think it because it's such a simple process, I think, but that self-reflection part is something that no one ever does. Like anyone who trains at 24-hour fitness or something like that, it'd be very rare that anyone who does that sits down and thinks, all right, how's everything gone from training, from sleep, from nutrition over the last 30 days?
Yeah.
And by adding that simple process in with the feedback from a coach, it just allows your results to really push forward at a much higher rate than you ever was, training by yourself or doing, a generic kind of boot camp class or something like that. So
yeah, I totally agree. When I was swimming in a pretty robust high school program, and we would have a logbook that we would turn in after every Saturday morning practice, and then we'd get it back Monday morning, and the coach would just put notes in it. And, just in the logbook, it was kind of how we felt during that practice. Did we get a lot of sleep? What's our, this was in the 90s, so we weren't like diving deep into nutrition. We were high school kids, so not that would matter much anyway. But just that idea of reflecting on a workout, man, it changed my whole perspective when I went on to compete at higher levels. So I really, really like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
Cool. So tell the world about yourself. You're a former rugby player. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I played a little bit of rugby. When I left college at 18, I went and played like professional rugby for a couple of years, and then playing for a really good professional side. I think we had like 50 people on the team, but we obviously there's only 20 people who play every week, and I was young and a little bit too small to be playing full-time professional rugby. So I stuck around there a couple of years and then dropped down like a couple of leagues to play semi-pro, and that went really well from there. Ended up playing for England Counties, which is like the England team for every league outside of the Premiership, if that makes sense.
Wow, yeah.
Outside of the top league, they picked an England team from every other league in the country. I played for those guys a couple of times. It was a really good experience. Just had a really good rugby career, to be honest. Like I really enjoyed it, and then I kind of just found myself at the end of that feeling like I'd achieved everything I wanted to achieve. And that was pretty much when I moved into opening the gym. I worked as a strength and conditioning coach alongside some elite athletes. We did some work with Sale Sharks, which is one of the top rugby clubs in the country. And did some stuff with individual athletes from like Great Britain water polo and some other cool sports, which was a lot of good experience. And then just really figured that I wanted to have my own place. I was a big Joe DeFranco fan. That was like an instinct. He wanted to open my own gym. Cool. So I just kind of dived straight into that. We've moved Steel Habitat from a tiny, it's kind of like a Joe DeFranco story actually, like from a tiny sort of storage unit around 600 square foot into where we are now, which is around 4,500. We've got a good amount of members all working through this whole process that we've just kind of talked you through. So my main focus at the minute is just coaching our coaches on the systems we've developed, and we've got a great team here, and this is something that I'm loving doing, you know, starting as a strength coach after playing rugby and just coaching our coaches now. So
well, I know I'm really excited for Old City Steel Habitat. So thanks so much for your time. Thanks for all the wisdom in the program, and we're really excited. We'll have to get you and Mr. John out here to DC to hang out and work out with us once we get it up and running. I think that'd be really cool.
I'm excited too, and I know both of us are keen to get over and check it all out and drop in on you guys. So that'll be awesome.
Cool.